Hey everyone, good evening. It is Amy Jean Leblanc here. I'm your Norwex independent consultant, and I am going to show you what is included in our Safe Haven 5 tonight. And then I'm going to show you what we can do with all of those things and show you why it's a great place to start when you are wanting to dive into Norwex and cleaning up the chemicals in your home. Let's find a way to reduce the toxic chemicals in your home and use just water to clean with our amazing microfiber cloth. So yes, tonight I'm going to be talking to you about the Safe Haven 5. This is the box that it will come in. It's a great set. In it you will get a cloth here. It's called the Enviro cloth. The ENVIRO, consider it E for everything cloth. You can clean up to 99% of your home with this and water alone, no chemicals. Secondly, you're gonna get the window cloth. It's best friends. These two, Bert and Ernie, peanut butter and jelly, best friends go together. This one cleans up the grime, this one cleans or does the shining. So you will see that each item actually has a tag on it. So if you forget which one you're using, you've got it. Then we will have the dust mitt, which is pretty awesome for so many reasons. Followed by the cleaning paste. And lastly, the laundry detergent. This one here is the powder, so if you choose the Safe Haven 5 set with powder, you will get a powder version. If you choose liquid, you will get a liquid version. There's so much I can tell you about these things, but I will try not to just overwhelm you, and I will give you the key pieces of why this stuff rocks. So this, we're going to start off with the Enviro cloth. It is a microfiber cloth. To be considered a microfiber cloth, your fibers need to be 1/6 the size of a human hair. So if you took a human hair and you sliced it, you did your split ends. You pulled them and it would do that 6 times. That's 1/6 the size of a human hair. Norwex's microfiber cloths, the Enviro cloth, are 1/200th the size of a human hair. So you're pulling on that and splitting it 200 times. So that's the first thing that's gonna make this unique. The second thing is that it's very dense. There's a lot of material in here, a lot of fiber in here. If you took one corner of it and you took another corner of it and you went in separate directions, somebody would end up in Canada and the other person would end up in the Gulf of Mexico, because there are 1,800 miles of fibers in this one cloth. The last thing that makes this extremely special is called our backlock technology. And what that means is that it's embedded with microsilver. So it is woven with microsilver right in there. And if you're not familiar what silver properties are, it is considered, I guess the best way for me to put it for you is that it's a birth control for bacteria. So it will pick up bacteria, and if you use this properly and you take care of it properly, it will kill up to 99% of bacteria. So it will prevent bacteria from growing, which means it will prevent the cloth itself from smelling. You know, like when we get the sponges and everything and how they just sit there and they smell, that's because bacteria is growing inside of it. If you use this correctly and then care for it correctly, you're not going to get the smells on this, and you are going to be amazed at how many things you can not only clean up with it, but how often you can use it and where you can use it. And I could just go on and on. And oh my gosh, if you use this with this followed up, like on your stainless steel, or most especially your windows, that's where you're going to be jaw-dropping here, is when you do your window and you literally are not spraying things and you're not using paper towels and you're just wiping it with this and cleaning it up with this and coming back and shining up there. Your windows are going to be streak-free and you're going to be shocked and amazed. Because I won't lie, I did some of my windows over this last week and it still shocks and amazes me. So anyways, I'm going to hold off on the window cloth. But the EnviroCloth. So yes, this is a cloth that could clean almost anything in your home. You can use it in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in your car, on your windows, on your walls, on your floors. So many places. And again, the things that make it unique are the size of the fibers, the fact that there are very many fibers in here and that it's very dense, and the fact that it's embedded with microsilver. Those three things put together are called our backlock technology. So if you see that on one of our products, it means it's embedded with the silver, and what essentially it will do is start to self-purify. So after you've used it and you're done with it, what you're gonna wanna do is run it under hot water and agitate it together like this, and just do that so you're opening up the fibers and letting the dirt out. And after you've done all that throughout the entire cloth, what you're gonna do is just take it and then wring it out and use this handy dandy tag here and hang it. And as this cloth is drying, the silver is going to work and self-purifying it. And by the next day when it's all dry, it is ready to go again. It's like a brand new cloth. I should say a brand new clean cloth. So basically it lessens the amount of times you're gonna have to put it into the laundry. It will pick up things, and you will feel safe with it. If you haven't yet, you've gotta watch the video where I clean up raw chicken with it, and you will see just clearly how well it does. So again, mind blown, you totally will be, because I know I was. And just to backtrack on this a little bit, I have been doing this for 2 months. I am by day a sign language interpreter. Somebody introduced me to Norwex, and I have since just been like, what? I can clean all of this stuff with ease and without toxic chemicals. And so I originally decided to become a consultant so I could get the 35% discount. But I fell in love with the product so much, I'm like, well, I'm gonna be telling everybody and their brother about this, so I might as well just kind of do what I'm doing now and just share it with people this way via Facebook or YouTube or whatever way I can, because I love the products and I'm super, super impressed with them. And I feel so much better knowing that things that I'm cleaning around the house are safe for when my great nieces come over. It's safe for my cat. There's gonna be no issues if I'm cleaning my tub and the cat jumps in there and he wants to have his water source there. Even though I have a nice fountain for him here, for some reason he still loves to go to my bathroom, in my bathtub. But I don't worry about it, but I did before. I had to think, oh my gosh, did I use chemicals? Did I wipe up the chemicals enough? And now I don't fear that at all. It just feels so much better. And I feel like I don't mind touching it, and it's just, I could go on and on. But, so I'm gonna start off by just showing you a couple things. First and foremost, this is the size of the cloth. I like to take it and fold it in half and then fold it in half again, so it's in fourths. What we're gonna be doing here is called a mechanical clean. So basically a mechanical clean is you removing things off of it. So when I do things and I wipe with it, the fiber is gonna pull it up and hold it in there. So if I go to use that side again, it's not gonna cross-contaminate because the fibers are holding them in. If you were to use chemicals, that would be called a chemical clean. And the chemical clean means that you're killing something. The other kind of cleaning is called a thermal clean. And the best way for me to just reference that would be, when you turn on your oven and you have the cleaning setting for cleaning your oven, you would lock it and then you turn that on and it just burns the heck out of the inside of it, and then you have to wipe it out. That is the thermal kind of cleaning. So today what I'm going to show you is how well we can clean with this and other products that might not be quite as effective. But first what I'm going to show you is what I'm going to use here is called Glow Germ. It's basically a tool for training people how to get surfaces clean. They use it in restaurants and in the medical field to try and make sure that you are getting the full understanding of what you might be missing if you're cleaning, because this will show up under a black light. which I have handy dandy here for you too. So basically, what I'm going to do first is put a tiny bit onto, this is just a tile that I have. It's a marble tile. I got it with the lightest amount of black I could find on it, because I'm actually going to write on it later too. But so right now I'm putting a little bit of the powder on here, and I'm just going to put it on here, and then I am going to shut off the light so that you can see how it shows up on here. All right, so this is the black light, and you can see where I put the powder. How many of you have used these sanitizing wipes before? Prior to me becoming, I don't even say a consultant, being introduced to Norwex, this was my go-to thing. In fact, when my friend who showed me Norwex actually sent me a cut-up sample of an EnviroCloth, I wasn't really thinking two bits about it. At that point, she explained things and I understood it, but I was in the midst of trying to clean up these very, very, very dirty storage bins that had been sitting in my mother's basement. So instead of spraying things, I decided I'm just gonna pull these out. So I pulled one out and I started to clean, and then I had to pull another and another and another. And I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna take forever and I'm gonna waste so many things. So I'm like, ooh, I've got this little thing, this little EnviroCloth thing. It was literally, you know, a quarter of the size of this. So basically about this size, might even been a little bit smaller. And I wet it and I went to town, and I think I had to re-wet it once. And I went through 20 containers of cleaning it with this tiny little cloth. I was like, oh my God, this is just so much better, and I'm not spraying stuff and I'm not wiping stuff. But I digress. Point being that that was just one reason why these are not good. I don't know if any of you have ever realized this, but they have directions. Who would have thought that a cleaning wipe would have directions? I just thought, okay, open it, pull out the wipe, and you clean, right? Not true. Honestly, the directions on here say that if you want to disinfect, you actually have to leave the surface wet for 4 minutes. 4 minutes. If you want to sanitize, it's for 15 seconds. But that means you have to wet it and keep it wet. So use enough wipes to keep that surface area wet that entire time, or else it's not really being effective. So I was like, oh, I did not know that. Apparently I've been using it wrong all along. And usually what I would take it is just take it and wipe it down, be done, feel like I'd done a good job. It also says, if you are going to use these on a surface where you would eat afterwards, then you need to clean it with potable water afterwards. You need to clean it with water that you would be able to drink. So you need to clean it with water afterwards before your food touches that surface. You need to clean your hands before you eat. You need to clean your hands before you go to the bathroom. I'm like, what? All of this is on here, really? Sure enough, I went and looked after I was told this, and I was like stumped that that is actually a true story. Go and look at yours. It seriously says it right there. So, so with that being said, and everything going on right now, I know people want to be using these, and I know it feels like it's the way to go. That's okay. I'm not here to judge you. I'm so not. If that's what you want to do and that's where you want to go, my only suggestion is read the directions, follow what it says so that you're using it right, and then clean it with water. Clean it with soap and water, clean it with an EnviroCloth, but clean up afterwards so you feel comfortable knowing that your space is not just clean and disinfected, but it's clean and you wouldn't mind putting food on there. Because honestly, remember what I said about chemical cleaning? They're killing things, so it's considered a pesticide because it's cleaning bacteria. Removing bacteria, cleaning bacteria. And with that said, again, we don't say anything about the virus. We're not saying that this will clean the virus. We're talking about bacteria and dirt here. Have I changed the way I'm doing things? Basically, no, except I use soap and water. I don't use these. But again, no judgment. Do what feels right and safe for you. But for the time being, and for all purposes of what I was trying to originally start with, which is the bacteria, let me show you why they want you to clean the area afterwards. So I've got the powder on here, and now I've got one of these wipes, which I should be using a glove, but I want to kind of save them in case something else is needed for it. So I will use this, and then later I will wash my hands. But so I'm going to use this, and I am going to wipe basically for as long as I would have beforehand. And now what I'm going to do is show you what is left on this. Okay. Can you see the swipes that are left on that? That is the residue from the powder and the wipes. So whatever I was cleaning, I have now just swiped it all around. I didn't remove it. So it was not removed. It was cleaned, and there's residue left. This is why I want you to follow the directions to make sure what you've done is you've cleaned it, but then you go back and you remove whatever you had left, because if you looked at it this way, you wouldn't think that it was there. But what I'm going to do now is take my wet Enviro cloth, and I'm going to wipe it up, basically for about the same wipes that I did with that wipe. And I'm going to show you how I removed things. So what I did was remove the product, the residue, and the bacteria, because it cleans up 99% of bacteria. So that is why I feel like this is a very important thing. So now, mind you, let me show you that it is on here. So I'm going to shut the light off again. Whoops. Can you see it on there? Yeah. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take that same side, I'm going to wipe it again, and I'm going to show you that it doesn't go back onto it. So it did not cross-contaminate. It's still in the cloth until I take it under the hot water, fold it over, and agitate it. For, get it good, agitate it so you're getting the gunk out of it. Rinse it out under the hot water and then hang it so it can self-purify itself again. So that was the first exposure for me that I went, oh, wow. All right, the second thing I'm gonna do is just, because I've got this out here, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna write on this with a Sharpie, my Sharpie, and I just put $200 there. Basically, I never remember to say this, but this is the average amount that a hostess gets when they host a party of free products. They get roughly $200 of free products. So I'm gonna put that on there. I'm gonna leave it a little bit because I want it to get in there. And while I'm doing that, what I'm gonna do, while it's sitting there waiting, I am going to take my mirror, and I am going to take some butter, and I'm gonna draw. Ooh, I left it out, so it's a little bit soft right now, but there it is. It's on there, and I'm gonna take the same Enviro cloth, and I still have powder all over me, and I'm gonna take this and I'm going to wipe up the butter that was on here. and then I'm gonna follow it up with the window cloth and show you just how squeaky clean it got. Seriously, if you try this on your windows, you are gonna be so amazed. So amazed. So that is the window cloth. You can use it on your stainless steel, anything you want to shine, your faucets, your windows, your mirrors. So you would do this followed by this. Clean, shine. It's a little bit larger than the EnviroCloth. The EnviroCloth, we recommend you keep it folded like that to clean so you get the most surface area on it. With the window cloth, it's fine to just have it all scrunched up. But it's been super, super helpful as this springtime I am cleaning the windows and whatnot. So those are two things. And this, to be quite honest with you, is the basic package. So if you were like, oh, I don't know, I don't really know if I want to have all 5 products, but I definitely want these 2, you can save a little bit of money by getting these 2 together. So EnviroCloth and window cloth are considered the basic package, and I think they're like $36 or just shy of $36. So that's those 2. The next thing I'm going to show you is the dust mitt, and it's got the same backlock technology in it. Backlock technology in the window cloth, backlock technology with the silver, so the silver embedded in these, as well as this. So this is uses static electricity to help you get this all charged up so that it's ready to take dust off. I'm actually using some old coconut flour that I had. I went through my cabinets and I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of old flour. So I'm gonna put it in a bin and make it be like, make it look like dust. So that's what I'm gonna do. So you get the static a little bit. I don't know that you're gonna be able to see this, but I'm gonna try to see with the lighting. It's probably bad. So you can see the dust is there and how I am just going to take it and it's right there, all in there. And I actually use, sorry about that, actually use my rubber brush here to get this off of it into the trash. So I'm not having to go out and shake it so that the dust's going back in my face. I'm actually brushing this into the trash or outside. So this is super good for dusting. You can use it dry, you can use it wet. You can use it even slightly damp if you feel like you need a little bit more. You know, when you use the furniture polish and the sprays, do you know that stuff actually attracts the dust more? So by using this, if you need it a little bit wet to get things up more, sometimes that works. I haven't needed to, but what I do use this wet for is my screens. Oh my gosh. People have kept telling me how awesome this was if you wet this and then clean your screens. Dumbfounded. Just seriously so much easier. So wet it, then go around it and go up and down the screen. So cleaned up so easily. I used to take them all out, bring them out to the front yard, spray them down with the hose, then dry them down with either towel or paper towels or whatnot. And I did this so fast. It's not even funny. I've also been told it is really good to get sand off your feet. So if you've gone to the beach or if you have kids that have gone to the beach or that are in a sandbox or whatnot, then this is a great way to get the sand off of them. So this, very, very helpful. And it, you know, you can flip it from one hand to the other, easy peasy. So that's that. Now, let me wipe up this a little bit because I have a little bit of the powder from me left over. So I'm trying to get it all off so I don't shine. But okay, so here is the $200 I talked about. This is a tile. And what I'm going to show you now is the cleaning paste. When I first got the cleaning paste, I kind of went a little wild because I was really almost trying to show people that I wanted to prove them wrong. So I actually took my magic marker, I went to my cabinets, my tile floor, my wood floor, a metal door, a wall, and I all went around with my EnviroCloth and my cleaning paste, and I'm like, I gotta see if this is gonna work. In fact, there was another time that I was told if you use this Speary sponge, which it looks like it's abrasive, but it's really not. It's foam inside, and it's a very, it cleans well. It helps scrub things off, but it's not abrasive where it would scratch something. But I used this and this to clean the inside of my oven door in such a short time. In fact, because I'm a sign language interpreter, I'm not always in the same place at the same time, so sometimes I can get home. So in between jobs, so that day I decided, I'm gonna test my oven. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. It worked so well. I was still in my work clothes and I actually did a video on it too, so look at the video, you can see it that way. But anyways, it's hard. It's not, it says it's a paste, but it doesn't become a paste until it gets wet. It's just basically like a rock right now. It's made from marble flour, natural soaps, and a trace of coconut oil. So again, very, very safe. So basically you take a little bit on your cloth, and I'm going to show you how you can get it off of here. I actually have a video around too that I had taken it around and done the whole writing on the floors and the doors and everything, and me standing there going, oh my gosh. So there it is, gone, easy as pie. This is actually a small one that comes in a kit, but the one that actually comes in that is larger, and I've been told it lasts years. Because there's that little amount that you need. I've used it a little bit in the tub when I need to get a little bit of scrubbing off. People have said it's good for doors. Oh, and one thing I do want to backtrack on. I had said that you could use the window cloth and EnviroCloth for nearly everything. I just want to make sure I put it out there that for glasses that have the anti-glare, or for your TV with anti-glare, I would be cautious of that. Norwex just wants to put it out there that you are aware that it could scratch. It might not. I have used mine on my computer, so the computer screen, the glasses with anti-glare, and your TV. They do actually have specific cloths that are designed for tech stuff, so it would be safe on that. But these, just beware. If you're gonna do it, I would try an inconspicuous spot. And with that said, again, I would try an inconspicuous spot with this too, because even though we say it's gonna work, we don't own all of your things. So if you're unsure, try it on the inside of your cabinet, or try it on the corner of your rug or the corner of your floor. Just, try it yourself first. Which is not what I did when I was writing all over the place, and it seemed to work. But just so you're aware, if you're unsure, try it in a safer spot. I mean, in a hidden spot first. But honestly, I've been so impressed. So impressed. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think lastly we're going to come to is the laundry detergent. So I have been a liquid detergent person for years. This is actually still some of the liquid detergent that I have left, because it actually works, because I want to be able to show you how much I would use. I think I probably used a little bit more than that, but I tried to follow what was on the lines here. So basically that would be how much I would use prior to using Norwex products. Now, if I was going to use the same Norwex product, I have a high efficiency washer. So if you have a high efficiency washer, it's probably about that. This, let me show you. If I was going to do a small load, this is how much I'd use for a small load. 2 squirts for a medium load, and 3 squirts for a large load. So we've got this and this. That is the difference. So you look at it and you go, that's kind of a tiny bottle. This bottle here says it's 215 loads. Well, can you imagine why? It's this. Whoops, let me get that. There's the shine. That much. that much. And I'm not joking, it works really, really well. All of our detergent is got no phosphates, sulfates, chlorine bleach, optical brighteners. There's no animal testing, there's no dyes or fragrances, and they're very impressive. This is the powder version of it. It's called Ultra Power Plus. It does come with a scoop. And what the directions say on here, for a high efficiency load, you would want to use 1/2 to 2/3 of this. That's too much. It's been trained on us and ingrained on us that that is too much. And what you should do is start with a 1/2 scoop if you're going to do that. But basically, 1 teaspoon. That's TSP, teaspoon. I'm not joking. 1 teaspoon is what works for a large load. And if that wasn't awesome enough that you are gonna only use that amount for cleaning your laundry, you can also use this for other things. You can use it to put in your rug cleaner. You can put it in a spray bottle, a little bit diluted, so if you feel like you need a little extra oomph somewhere, you could use it that way. One of the things they suggested was in a jetted tub, you know, just the regular jetted tub that you have in your home. So I decided, since I hadn't used my jetted tub for a while, that I really wanted to get the tubes clean. So I took it and I literally put a 1/2 scoop of this in it. And when I did that and I turned on the jets, it just started to bubble up too much that I couldn't do it. It just kept going over. I literally had to empty it out and then use the 1 teaspoonful before I could actually start getting it to go through it so I could clean. So versatile, clean, biodegradable, healthy. Norwex has a long list of no-known chemicals they will never put in their products. They do have some products which are either enzymatic based or plant-based, or they just really try to gear things to a really healthy, safe world where we are exposing our family and our children and our pets to less toxic chemicals. And this is one of the ways that they do it. And before I really sign off with you guys, the one thing I'm going to say is they have a mop that I absolutely love. It is crazy awesome. This one is the chenille mop pad. It's Velcro here. And then this one, for me, this is just how I like to dust, because I got it in my package and I really like it. But it picks things up, especially if you have pets around. It picks up a lot of stuff. So again, when I clean it though, I would do this over the trash bin to get the dust off of it. But this is freaking amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I just said freaking, but I guess we're lucky it's nothing else. But anyways, so you can adjust the handle so that it goes way up or way down. So for the tall, for the short, or for the places that you want to get that you can't get with it short. But the best place they say to put it is right about here. So you just twist it and tighten it. You can lean it against the counter. This actually helps to get scuff marks off. It lays very, very flat. This happens to be the champagne colored one. I don't remember, but there's one that's blue and green. And whoops. And these are the mop pads that goes with that. So this is the dry dust mop and dust mop pad, and it will say it right on there, floor dry. And you can do the same thing with dusting it off and then cleaning it the same way as well, because it's got the back lock system in it. I'm 90% sure on this one. I might be wrong about this one, but I definitely know it's in this one. Okay, I do not think it's in the dry mop, but it's definitely, the Backlock and the silver is definitely in the wet one. So what you would do is run it under the water, get it damp, take it, roll it out, squeeze it out, lay it down on the floor, put it in. One of the nice things about using this too is that the pad is a little bit longer than this, so that you can actually clean baseboards as you're doing it too, and that's the same thing with these. But then, yeah, so leaving this out to dry after you've agitated it and wet it again lets it self-purify because it's got the silver in it, the Backlock technology. The other thing I wanted to mention about this was, oh, if you feel like you need, and again, just water, seriously, just water. But if you feel like you need a little bit more, you could always put a little bit in a water bottle of this, a little bit of this with the water, and use that for a little oomph. But you usually don't need it. But if you feel like, oh, I really need some extra water, do I have to keep going back and forth? No, fill up a water bottle, just a regular water bottle, and spray, and then just clean like that. And honestly, this is probably one of the most coveted items. A lot of people will actually host parties just to get these. And it just so happens that when I'm recording this, it's mop month. I don't know when you'll watch it. It might not be mop month then. But sometimes they do offer it up as a hostess reward. So there's 3 ways to get this. You can buy it, and it's absolutely worth every penny. You can host a party and either get it for free or heavily discounted, or you can become a consultant and get it for free, which is how I got mine because I really, really liked the products. So totally worth it. Totally great in cleaning up hardwood floor and tile. And they actually do have a couple of different pads that you could use if you want to. These are the 2 that would come with it. The chenille one that I showed you is a separate one, but unnecessary unless you really, like I said, unless you have pets, unless that's what you want. But so I think that is the bulk of my conversation with the whole, I'm going to show you again. Safe Haven 5, great way to start getting yourself acclimated to cleaning your home with less toxins and safer environment for your family and your pets and yourself. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Ask me any questions. Yeah, that's it. Have an awesome night. It is beautifully dark out now, and I hope you have a good evening and stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. And again, my name's Amy Jean. Have a good night. Bye.